What is up, everybody? Welcome back to week number 9 of my Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes free-to-play account. The progression is there, guys. We're getting there. We're getting there. And especially with the new updates coming to the anniversary gifts, this account is going to explode in progress. So let's break down basically everything. So first things first, arena rank. Honestly, I have not put any effort into arena rank, obviously, because it's a dead game mode. It's a current mode. Fleet rank, on the other hand, I'm kind of stuck. Like, I just can't really progress anything more until I start relicking up my ship or relicking up characters for my ships. And honestly, I'm gonna hold off. Hopefully I can maintain that 138 fleet rank just like for the quite foreseeable future. Foreseeable future. I just stuttered there. For the foreseeable future, just to maintain that hopefully that 200, 100 rank, especially with the new gifts coming out. Next over here, Grand Arena. Hey guys, like, I've put up 20 full banners in total, and it really sucks because I really want to play this game mode, but I'm kind of stuck. This guy has a GL. Like, these two guys have GL, which really suck, and especially the third one does as well. I've put up a total of 20 banners, which is quite nice. And I'll put up another 10 for round 3. Over here for conquest wise, I was able to get the first crate, which is not too bad, 80 out of 90, which again, for week number 9, week 8, 9 progress is not too bad. I wouldn't say it's bad at all. I would say that's quite sufficient. Over here, on the other hand, we'll break down my collection. Padawan Obi-Wan, Tier 10, just missing another cryotech, unfortunately. Man has 400 pieces I have to apply to him just to get him up to Gear 12. Luckily, Gear 11, there is no cryotechs, thank God. Darth Vader, on the other hand, no cryotechs at all, so bless. Very easy fire. Darth Vader is basically 1 full piece of Carbonti away and 20 pieces of the med pack gold to get him up to Gear 12, which is key because the next Zeta I'm going to be applying is the Merciless Massacre Zeta onto the Darth, which is going to be an absolutely great lifter, especially for a solo team in Grand Arena early on. Obviously, Darth Vader falls off just a little bit later on into the game. However, that's okay, because especially with the new characters that are coming up, I believe the new Vader that's coming out with the piece of his mask removed is apparently going to be a lifter for Emperor Palpatine, Mara Jade, this Darth Vader. So I'm quite excited. Master Qui-Gon over here. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to gear him up, especially because I've been putting my cryotech pieces into Padawan Obi-Wan. I'm just doing one at a time, just so I can then start relicking to them one at a time. So once I take this guy up to Gear 12, I can start farming his specific Gear 12 pieces, and then I'll start gearing up Master Qui-Gon to get him up to Gear 12. And then hopefully these two characters will be my next relics out, or my first 2 relics that won't be associated with the Lightspeed tokens. Grand Moff Tarkin, I started gearing up just a bit, especially for the raid. It's going to be super key, especially since he is a raid conqueror. I don't have any pieces of like abilities onto him, which kind of sucks. General Kenobi, he is very close to being popped off into Gear 12 territory. However, he needs the exact same piece as Darth Vader, so it kind of sucks. However, I'm started to farm up his abilities, which is quite nice. I have no mods on him as well, and I would bump him up to level 85. However, I don't have the training material to do that. Next, we have Emperor Palpatine. I'll come back to Palpatine, especially because of the anniversary gifts, and when I start covering them up or just going over them. Savage Opress, which is going to be quite nice, especially for that Sith assault battle team. Grand Admiral Thrawn is going to be key, especially because he is the weakest link when you're doing the assault battles for Endor raid. Mara Jade is going to be super key. Basilisk Fallen, again, Terminator Train, especially for the Sith assault battle. Darth Talon, we're going to get the Darth Talon eventually. However, at the current moment, we are currently farming Geonoshi and Brood Alpha, especially so we can have a 5-star Geo team. We're not going to take them any further. Maybe Spy, where I can just, in Sunfac, where I can just passively farm them over time. But Spy, Sunfac, Soldier, Pago the Lesser, and Brood Alpha are just 5-star locked territory, just so I can unlock Padme. And Padme at gear 12, I just have 5-star, maybe even a relic or two. Might go a long way incorporating into a really good Grand Arena team that's very early on. Maybe defense, maybe I can replace the Phoenix and change them to offense and put this team, Padme with the Poncho Bros, with Snips and Jedi Knight Anakin. I get a little good 5v5 team, especially early on our account. I could also farm Qui-Gon Jinn, just the OG Qui-Gon Jinn with his Omicron, but at the same time, I don't know. But I think Padme is going to be worth it just a bit more, especially when it comes to Conquest. Padme Conquest with the Padawan Obi-Wan Omicron is going to be huge, especially for the survivability. That team will carry me through normal Conquest, which is going to be quite nice. And that's basically it for basically what I'm farming. When it comes to just farming hard battle nodes, we have unlocked Hunter, Tech, and Wrecker. So we've started basically unlocking the Marauder. I put some materials into them, especially when it comes to the leveling up. However, I don't have that much, but like I'm just going 5 at a time when I have enough. I was able to also get my first 7-star ship, which is quite nice. However, it's only a Plo Koon ship, and we'll get there eventually. We're only 2 pieces away to getting his full, basically his full reinforcement ability, which is quite nice. After that, Ahsoka's ship is probably next, and then after that will probably be Anakin. They're quite nice. We also have a 3-star punishing 1 ship, which is quite nice, especially for that early on progression. Like I said in last week's video, definitely start farming this. By next week, especially with I get more materials through the episode pass, I'll be able to get this up to 4 stars, which is highly good for a new account, even though I'm nowhere close to farming Executor right now. The fact that I'm able to start off farming off one of the ships super early on, where I don't have to waste materials away from the TIE Defender node or the Marauder node, is quite nice. I also was able to get the Houndstooth up to level 85. But we'll get there eventually. We're still farming Houndstooth node. We have him at 3-star in particular. We'll also upgrade their abilities. However, I got to start upgrading the abilities for basically my OG ship. Ahsoka, I have nowhere close. Like, yeah. Well, I'm about to max out her abilities, but I just need more of these kind of like ship mega ship or ship ability material megas or whatever it's called. Jesus Christ, I cannot speak. Next, going back to characters wise, farming. So we have unlocked Hunter, Wrecker, and Tech for the Marauder. We're just farming up the the Pretty Pals nodes in particular, just so we can unlock them. We're not going to put that much gear into them. I already have Captain Enoch, especially at gear 11, or sorry, gear 10. Not because I farmed them up at all. It's mostly because if you're here for the first day of this account, he was basically one of my first characters that I got from a Lightspeed token, which is quite nice because that just advanced my progression onto this account even more at the time. But now we have plenty of characters that are surpassed from him. When it comes to ship farming, Temple Guard, that's basically just the Iden Versio node. Hunter, there for the ship. Jango Fett node, that's just there for the Houndstooth, which is quite nice. Also, we're about to get Jango 4-star, but at the same time, he's going to be probably the easiest gear or like 7-star character for a while until we start unlocking Jordica and 8th Brother. I want to have to eventually start farming up Ape Brother. We'll get there eventually, mostly for a ship, and that'll be honestly passive income for charge stop currency, which would be quite nice, especially when we start farming the IG 2000 ship. Okay, so conquest. These are just my conquest teams. Materials and training droids. On the other hand, I'm very low on training droids, which kind of sucks. And so we're able to get majority of the Jedi from last week up to level 85. However, a lot of their abilities are now maxed out, which is quite nice. I'm looking for to apply Zeta over here for General Grandmaster Yoda. I'll probably do that prior to his Lightspeed token. Maybe, maybe not, depending on my mood, depending on my need at a given moment. General Kenobi, on the other hand, I'm starting farming up his particular abilities. On the other hand, I was able to max or almost max out his unique over here, or his swarm ability that we're doing right now. But this is next. The negotiator's next. The his basic is after that. But I probably won't gear up his. Why would I gear this up? Like, I don't think I will do that, especially since I don't have the negotiator right now, so there's no point of gearing that up whatsoever. We're also 99, oh sorry, we're also 90 out of 100, so next a refresh of the shop, we'll get General Kenobi at 7-star. Okay. Now, this is the main big thing after the anniversary rewards. So this is going to be super huge and kind of like account changing break, like account changing. The acceleration is going to be huge. Now, I've done a basic template of what I want in particular, but I also listed off other things that certain other characters might, or certain other accounts might want to look at when it comes to the Rebel Lightspeed tokens. I'll go over this a little bit more in detail when it comes to maybe a new farming path for 2026, especially when all the Lightspeed tokens are available. Over here on my other screen, I have basically the dates. So if you see me looking over here, that's basically what I'm looking at. So the Phoenix Lightspeed token, especially for Sabine and Hera, are going to start on November 18th. And you'll be able to get them up to, with these Lightspeed tokens and these challenges, you'll be able to get Hera and Sabine 7-star maxed abilities, except for the Omicron. That includes the free Zeta onto Hera. It's a free Zeta onto Sabine with max out Omega abilities, level 85, 7-star. And wow, I just been vindicated, though. I don't even have to farm up Sabine, which they're just going to give it to me for free, which is quite nice. December 2nd, though, the exact same thing applies to Ezra and Chopper. Relic 0. Sorry, did I say Gear 12? I meant Gear 13. Yeah. This is going crazy. Hera, Sabine, Ezra, Chopper, all Gear 13, which is absolutely crazy. No relic levels, though. That's the catch. But max out abilities, except for the Omicron. So free Zeta on Ezra, free Zeta on Sabine, free Zeta on Hera. Then after that, it says requires completing chains of 1A and 1B. So I'm assuming if I finish 1A and 1B, I'll get Captain Rex up to Gear 13, which is quite nice because I literally, just by doing that, I saved 300 Cryotech pieces, which is absolutely crazy. Yeah. Just by doing that, we saved up 300, or so we saved up over here. That's 200 in total. And then depending on Gear 12, we'll either save 100 pieces of the shock prod, or we would save 100 pieces of the battle computer, which is quite nice. Then we're also given, during that exact same completion of 1A and 1B, we get Captain Rex up to Gear 13, Relic level 0. We also get a free Rebels Lightspeed token, And we also get a Lightspeed token for Emperor Palpatine, determining if you have completed the Emperor Palpatine event. So Emperor Palpatine will get his full Zetas, which is crazy. Relic 13, Gear 13, both of his Zetas, both Omicrons, which is absolutely crazy. And that would be looking around December 2nd. Now, on the other hand, for the Rebels Lightspeed token, I would say these are probably the 5 best options that I've saw off the top of my head, depending on what position you are on your account. Especially where I'm looking for is to get GL Leia really early, or like basically focus on GL Leia to expedite my account. Captain Drogon, it will probably be my pick. And again, that's a lot of Zetas saved. Like, that's all. Or not a lot of Zetas. That'll be maxed out abilities, Zeta. Also, I'll be getting up to Gear 13 for 7-star. So that's just an easy... That's just a quick, easy finish. And all I have to do is take it up to Relic 7. On the other hand, depending on where you are in your count, 3PO and Chewie is a good option. However, we'll come back to 3PO and Chewie, especially for a different Lightspeed token. Admiral Raddus is also a good pick for that Rogue One team. Saul Guerrero, good for the Rebel fighters. Now, I would recommend Kyle Katarn if you're just starting off. Okay? If you're starting a brand new account today, I would probably recommend the Kyle Katarn as your Rebels Lightspeed tool, mostly because of the Star Killer, which would be quite nice. Emperor Palpatine will be quite nice. Now, after that, also, I forgot, the quest chain for 1A and 1B, you also get 10 Zetas as well, which is crazy. So you get 10 free Zetas, and you also get 3 Omicron pieces, which is... Again, this is absolutely crazy, the amount of stuff they're just giving you for the 10-year anniversary. Okay, next we have the... I've just labeled it as the individual Jedi Lightspeed tokens. So you get Anakin, Ahsoka, Mace, Shaak Ti, Hellerin Beck, all Gear 13, max out abilities, free Zeta. Free Zeta. That's free 3 Zetas right here, which is crazy. Also at Gear 13, so that's basically saving me how many crowd tags. Shaak Ti, I believe, has 2 Zetas. Hellerin Beck, I believe, has 2 Zetas off the top of my head, which is quite nice. And this will be, for the first 2, would be December 16th. The next 2 would be December 30th. And then, depending on completion, you would get Hellerin Beck up to Gear 13 then, with a Jedi Lightspeed token, as well as these are the 3 best ones at the current moment. We'll get to which one that I would pick in particular when the time has come. You'll also get, just like Emperor Palpatine, a Yoda Lightspeed token, which is quite nice. So again, like this Gear 13, Relic 0, which is quite nice. I get to save potentially 2 Zetas. Now, the key thing is, I might, like, it is December 30th. I think I will actually apply the Yoda Zeta prior to that, just so, because it's so good on a Jedi team. I'm actually kind of fine of wasting one particular Zeta, because just on Yoda in this meantime. Over here wise, for the Jedi Lightspeed token, since I'm gearing up Padawan Obi-Wan, and he's going to be out for a while, up to relics for a while, I might go after Hermit Yoda. I think Hermit Yoda is probably the safer bet, especially because I can save up my guild currency tier 2 raid currency just lately, which would be quite nice. And honestly, I already have him at 7-star, even though I'm kind of like wasting cryo tech, even though I'm pretty sure Hermit Yoda doesn't need any cryo tech at all. I don't believe any. It's just the progression of Hermit Yoda takes forever, and also it helps me just speed up the process for Jedi Master Luke quite a bit. Master Qui-Gon on the other hand. So we would probably be farming him the old-fashioned way. So I think these two will probably be my main, at even right now, are my main two that I want to be gearing up the most. And unfortunately, I don't have any, like, I just need Cryo-Tech pieces for them in particular. I'm pretty sure Master Qui-Gon needs another 300 too. We also get a free Yoda Lightspeed token, like I said. And the next is actually quite crazy because I had no plans at all for like maybe the next 4 years to get the Inquisitors. But CG's like, well, this is probably the least farm team, so might as well just give it to people, which is quite nice. So 8th brother, 9th sister, 5th brother, 7th sister, 2nd sister, all given to you, which is quite nice. And again, completion of these two, or the first two set, gives you 2nd sister, an Emperor Lightspeed token, and then a free R2D2 Lightspeed token for the event. Now, depending on your progression of your free-to-play account, or depending on your start day, the Empire Lightspeed token, I'm going to be using it on Scout Trooper, just so I can speed up my requirements for GL Leia, which will be quite nice because Scout Trooper is a crazy long farm. Over here, Mara Jade is probably the best option out of these 5, which is quite nice. However, don't sleep on Dark Trooper and don't sleep on Piet, just depending on your progression for your Imperial Troopers. But I think Mara Jade would probably be the best if I was starting a brand new account today. And also, get her Zetas. Don't forget, you're getting all these Zetas. This is a very heavy Cryo-Tech team, and you just save so many Cryo-Techs for a pretty decent team. Even though you also get Grand Inquisitor for free. R2D2 on the other hand, I believe he has 2 Zetas, which is be quite nice. Then we're moving on to the CLS requirements. Now this is where it gets a little bit interesting. You're giving Princess Leia. Honestly, you will be able to surpass the CLS. Basically, you'll be able to like completely auto the CLS journey event, especially with just these guys at like gear 13 maxed abilities. Like this is gonna be absolutely crazy. The droid Lightspeed token is where it gets a little bit interesting. You have good options, to be honest. I would say probably the best option for my account, and honestly for everybody starting today, would probably be 3PO and Chewie. I don't think there's any other good options. Like Chopper, you're already given out Gear 13, especially for the early ones. Sorry, excuse me. IG-11, but you're given that later. Huang might be interesting. But that's pretty much it. I don't see anybody else. Maybe General Grievous, like if you're farming up Malevolence early on. But I honestly think this is probably the best pick. Minus Dark Trooper. Like Dark Trooper, you can make an argument for, depending on what your progression is for Imperial Troopers and the Imperial Revenant. Like you can probably get a really good, like if I'm starting today, Dark Trooper might be definitely an option, especially for the circumvention of all the Zetas. Sorry, my mouse is acting a little funky right now. Dark Trooper might be an interesting pick. I'm not sure. I have to go back and forth on that, but I think right now, 3PO and Chewie is who I'm picking. And then, yeah, that's basically it. Commander Luke Skywalker, you're also given a Commander Luke Skywalker Lightspeed token, which is crazy. Even though you don't need any Cryo-Tech until Gear 12, just save a lot of Cryo-Tech. Bounty Hunter, for my account, Boba Fett, Boss, IG-88, Dengar, Fennec Shan will be quite nice. Honestly, a welcome addition. I just saved so many Zetas. I don't have to farm up Bosk at all for his node, for his dark side node. Honestly, that's like 3 months right there of saving time. Unfortunately, for this one in particular, for the CLS requirements, it's going to be around February. The when it comes to the boss and bounty hunters such, it's going to be around March. However, I don't think I'll farm boss in the meantime because I don't think I need his requirements at all, other than farming up the hounds too. I think I'm good holding off on farming the bounty hunters for quite a while. If I'm given all these pieces, I don't think I need to farm up boss whatsoever for a while, which is going to be quite. Chewbacca. Oh, sorry. Then we go to the bounty hunter lightspeed token. There's only one pick and one pick only. If I'm going after Leia and you see what I'm doing, you see that I'm going after Leia. Bounty hunter Leia, Boosh, Leia Organa is going to be key, which again, you get to circumvent a basically high farm. The Chewbacca lightspeed token, easy. Like again, that's self-explanatory, which is quite nice. Next is the Beskar lightspeed token. We get basically the Mandalorian Beskar Mandalorian for free. Our Dune IG-11 Queel, Brief Karga. Honestly, just free bounty hunters. Again, I basically have. I would have. Quite a bit. I would have like 4 bounty hunters in total, if I'm counting correctly. No, 3. No, 8. 8 bounty hunters in total. Boba Fett, that's 5. Boosh, that's 6, 7, 8. Which is quite nice, honestly. Mando lightspeed token. So this is the Mandalorian lightspeed token. I'm going back and forth on who I want. It could speed up progression towards Bo-Katan Mandalore. However, especially with the new event that has come out, especially for GL Ahsoka, I can do the very first node with Padawan Sabine. It depends. I haven't honestly decided in particular what I want to do for this account in particular. I will definitely come back when that happens, but this won't happen until April. But honestly, there's no bad like picks, honestly. Obviously, there's certain limitations of what I can do, but I'm giving the Mandalorian. I'm giving Sabine already, the OG Sabine. Honestly, out of these 5, I might want to go with Padawan Sabine, and then maybe just 4, I can do the first progression of the GL Ahsoka event. And then maybe I can do the first 2 nodes. I can't remember what the second node was again. I just know that Sabine, you have to unlock Sabine for the second or the first node. I gotta do a refresher on what the first node is. And then you're basically given Beskar Mando lightspeed token, which is quite nice. So that's basically what I want to do for my account. And now, if you couldn't tell what I'm trying to do, this is what I'm trying to do. Trying to cross off the farming requirements for these accounts. So Captain Rex, R2D2, Akbar, Drogon, Boosh, Scout Trooper, 3PO and Chewie, Commander Luke Skywalker. It's a hyper acceleration of these characters for the eligibility for Leia Organa. Even though I still need to relic them up, the progression of just the progression is quite saved over here. Cryotech, which is absolutely. So that's basically it. That's what I'm looking towards doing, especially with the new requirements coming out soon. That's it for the video. Again, crazy stuff going on in this game, but at the same time, sometimes you got to be patient, especially depending on you, because you don't want to waste resources. We're going to get a lot of materials and a lot of anniversary gifts in the next coming weeks, so it's quite nice. So that's it for the video, everybody. Peace out, have a wonderful time, and I'll see you next video in week number 10.